A train is headed straight into a pit, but that's a casual day for Superman. However, what's interesting is his conversation with Lois Lane. We learn that Batman is engaged, yet he still hasn't called Superman. He's the one who... He's engaged. Lois insists that he calls Bruce, but Clark brushes it off, saying that he's busy. Lois replies by pointing out that Batman is busy too, and she's right, he's fighting crime as usual. Yet what's interesting is that Bruce is having the same conversation with Catwoman. She also insists that Batman calls Superman. After all, he's Bruce's closest friend. However, he retorts that Gordon is his closest friend. She knows better, arguing that Gordon doesn't even know Batman's real name. He denies it again, now claiming it's Alfred, but Selina knows it's just Batman being difficult and tells him to call Clark. Just like Superman, Batman brushes it off, saying he's too busy to call his pal. On their side, Lois would like to meet Selina. However, Superman thinks it's dangerous. She cannot be trusted as she's a criminal, and it's not safe for her to discover their identity. Nevertheless, it doesn't change Lois's mind. She argues that Superman trusts Batman, so why wouldn't he trust Catwoman? Also, knowing Catwoman's reputation, she assumes that she already knows who they are, especially with Superman's poor disguise, and she's right. Catwoman tells Batman that she already knows about Clark being Superman, so that's not a reason to hold up their first meeting. It wasn't that difficult to find their identity. After all, she discovered the identity of the Dark Knight. Meanwhile, Clark and Lois are on a case, yet she insists that Clark calls Bruce afterward. However, Superman still brushes it off. In the meantime, Batman and Catwoman have an investigation of their own. During this interrogation, Catwoman points out that Batman is afraid not of the crooks, but of the whole situation with Superman. Because of this, he won't talk to his best friend. Later, while Superman is fighting a supervillain, Lois asks him how his talk with Batman went. He admits that he didn't call him. Lois is disappointed by hearing that, so he promises that he'll call him today no matter the crisis. Selina isn't leaving Batman alone either. She questions him on why he won't do it, why he won't call Clark. She wants Bruce to talk to her. She wants to understand him. However, Bruce doesn't answer any of her questions, solely focusing on his mission, on his investigation. This leads him to Goodwin Tower, where the villain they were tracking is located. Coincidentally, Lois has to meet this guy for a scoop at the same location. Both their partners respectively insist that they come as well, Superman to protect Lois, and Catwoman to accompany Bruce. As they're on their way, we witness one of the most wholesome moments in the DCU. We see why they didn't want to call each other, and what they truly think of one another. His parents died when he was so young, shot, killed right in front of him. His whole planet was destroyed. He's the last of a Holocaust. He was raised alone, a kid in a huge mansion, with his memories of his mother and father. He grew up in the dirt, finding out slowly how different he was. He had love, and they took it from him. He should be a killer. He should want to tear the world apart for what it did. He has the power to tear the world apart, and he could, with a pinky. It's not his world. We're not his people. We should be ants to him. And yet he took that pain, that shock of death, and he turned it into hope. Imagine that, always being on the outside, the pain that would come from always being on the outside. And yet, he took that pain and became the symbol of hope. I'm just a rich kid from the city. I knew my parents. I knew who I was, what I had to be. I had the love of my parents. I had Ma and Pa, the whole way. I had a childhood full of laughing and learning. I didn't have any choice but to be who I am. He had every choice, and he became who he is. I have powers. I had to do this. All he has are his wits and his will, and he chooses to do this. Every kid is inspired by him. Everyone wants to be him. He's a better man than I am. He's just a better man than I am. He got engaged. He didn't call me. Okay, that's his way of telling me we're not friends. Not really. You can't be friends with him. Not when you're... He doesn't need to congratulate me. Look at me. What am I compared to him? He is who he is. He doesn't need a friend. He isn't like me. He's Superman. He's Batman. It wasn't out of spite that they didn't talk, but because they both thought the others didn't want or need them to. Fortunately for our heroes, destiny has it that both couples' elevators went to the same floor at the exact same moment. This causes a moment of shock for our characters. How didn't I see you?
You took the elevator.
The ladies seized this opportunity to finally meet each other. However, before they could shake hands, the two villains they were respectively investigating burst out. Yet it wasn't a big deal for our superheroes. They took them out in one punch. Afterward, they decided to go get something to eat so they could finally get to know each other. The Gotham Fair was the place they chose after an hour of debate. However, when they got there, as an unexpected turn of events, it was superhero night, so they had to wear a costume to get in. They first thought of wearing their own costumes, but it would be too obvious, so they chose to wear each other's costumes instead to lay low. Superman wore Batman's costume, Batman wore Superman's, Lois Lane wore Catwoman's costume, and Catwoman, well, she had her way to get around. Our superheroes are ready to have some superhero fun. They go around, eat some hot dogs, still laying low. Even though Superman wanted to easily win a gift for Lois, she insisted not to. Then they go to a love tunnel to enjoy themselves a bit more. Yet, I think Batman and Selina are enjoying themselves a bit too much. Our heroes continue to have their fun, but the big talks also need to happen. While Bats and Soups are playing baseball, Selina and Lois are hitting it off. Even though she tries not to be much of a reporter in front of Catwoman, she can't help but ask her why, of all people on the planet, she's dating Batman, especially with her occupation. She simply replies that when she falls, he catches her. In a sense, she and Bruce have a deep connection toward each other, especially in moments of need. Superman, on his side, also wants to know Bruce's opinion. He wants to understand his dearest friend. She's a criminal.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, you war on criminals.
Yeah.
Just saying, pal, it's an odd match.
Your identity is perhaps the world's greatest secret. Lois is the best reporter out there. A woman dedicated to uncovering the world's greatest secrets. Just saying, pal.
Even though they are different in many ways, they're still very similar in others. The girls, on their side, are growing more fond of each other. They learn about each other's past, about how Lois's father is a general who wanted her with a gun in her hand, so she ran far away from all that stuff. And how Selina's father ran away, and how she's doing the same thing in some ways by always running away from consequences. She's scared that one day they're going to catch up with her. Yet, even with these very serious and sensitive subjects, they share a laugh as they found a friend in each other. They continue to enjoy their evening, and everything goes well. A bit too well, perhaps. That's when someone decides to snatch Lois's envelope. However, the girls can't help but laugh while Batman and Superman easily take care of the supposed threat. Then they enjoy the rest of the evening just talking to each other, having a moment, and sharing it together. At last, Batman and Superman want to have a final baseball showdown after sharing this wonderful evening together. After switching clothes, they prepare for this final battle, as rivals, as friends, as two opposite forces that are so different in many ways, yet so close to each other. As two legends who recognize one another, but also just two friends who love each other. Up, up, and away?
Vengeance is the night.
You know what you're trying? It's impossible.
I know.
All right then. Here's to the impossible!